I'm Norm Schrein, and welcome to Information Radio's annual pre-season interview with University of Dayton women's basketball coach Tamika Williams-Jeter. Tamika will be interviewed this year by Barney Sentner. So, let the interview begin.
Thank you, Norm. Barney Sentner here, 22nd year doing University of Dayton women's basketball. Excited about the upcoming season. We're going to spend the next few minutes with Tamika Williams-Jeter. Briefly, the Flyers 18-13 last year, 11-7 in the A10. 3 starters they lose: Ivy Wolf, Ariana Smith, and Ricky Harris. Leading scorer coming back is Nicole Stevens, averaging about 6.5 a game. There are 6 returning letter winners. And we'll also ask the coach about the new chief of staff. So before we get into that, Coach, we do want to talk a little on a personal level. Your summer, did you get a chance to make any exciting trips or do anything excitingly fun with your family?
Yes, so of course with the fam. They're here tonight with me, eating a free meal. On me, but they are, we went on a lot of vacations. Of course, we always go to Orlando, we always go to Pigeon Forge, all the stuff that we do as family. But I got to do some really cool things this summer. Sue Bird, my college teammate and bestie, got inducted to the Naismith Hall of Fame. She also got a statue put up. So I definitely went up to the Hall of Fame and got to see her and Maya Moore and Sylvia Fowles, Carmelo Anthony, Billy Donovan, some very low hanging fruit in the game of basketball. No, very high hanging fruit. Dwight Howard. It was a phenomenal class. I also got to go and help induct Simone Augustus. She's already been inducted to the Hall of Fame. I was at her Hall of Fame, but we hung her banner and she chose to bring me out to the link, so I got to be a part of that. And then just been able to watch a lot of really good basketball. So it's a great summer for me. Hung out with the family, got some time with my family friends of basketball, and also got time to grow as a coach. So it's been amazing.
I also believe you also took your team to a Fever game, correct?
Yeah. We went to a Fever game.
Give me your impressions of that.
Yeah.
Was that during the brief portion that Caitlin Clark played, or was that
No, it was a post Caitlin Clark, but a really good emerging Indiana team. And just to see the atmosphere. We go every year. Last year, you're like almost on the ground, on the floor. This year, you're like, middle row, nosebleeds because of the impact she's had on our league. And so it was a lot of fun. We did a lot of things with the team this year. We did that. We did some stuff at Athletes in Action. We did 2 days, spent a night, a lot of team building, developing what our culture was going to be. Their hashtag, We All We Got, was developed there. We did a ropes course, and yes, I did climb the wall in record time. Almost broke a nail at my old age, but we had a lot of time, a lot of team bonding, team building this summer, because in the climate we're in, there are a lot of new pieces in every program.
So I'm curious, like when you're watching a WNBA game or you're at the Fever game, do you sit back and relax and watch, or are you watching it like a coach, like saying, oh, I would put Lexi Hall here, or I would take Lexi out, and I would do this with Aaliyah, and so forth?
I definitely watch as a fan. Kind of like you always have that moment of like, man, I played on this court, or I remember when I played against Tamika Catchings on this court, and she probably elbowed me in the face. But you have that moment, but then you kind of watch from a coach's eye more so for formations and plays. So I'm like, hey, you see that wrinkle they just did off of this and this, and we'll kind of talk about it as a staff. So I probably don't watch it as like she should have done this, Stephanie. I definitely watch it from, man, we should run that.
I was just saying, you've got to relate now. I don't want to go back to the season, but remember a couple seasons ago when you only had like 6 or 7.
Oh, yeah.
So you kind of know what Stephanie was like this year,
Yeah.
having to deal with all those injuries, so you have to have had some compassion for her.
Oh, I definitely had compassion, but she was still kicking butt, so I definitely enjoyed it. She's a dear friend of mine, so I talk to her often, and it was just fun to watch her teams just really emerge and almost make it to the finals.
Okay, so you have pretty much your same coaching staff back.
Yep.
But you have a new chief of staff, that's Terry Cummings Baker, coming from Baylor. She's got 24 years of coaching.
Yes.
So first of all, I'm not even sure I covered this last year, but if I did, it will be for a review. With the title of chief of staff, how is that actually different from what your other coaches do in terms of the title? And give us a little rundown on Terry.
Terry's awesome. I mean, to have somebody in that position with 24 years, having Colleen Day Henderson last year was phenomenal. Of course, it was no surprise Colleen had twins. She's got 3 under 3. So she wanted just to spend some more time with her family. So I've had two great people in that position. Now transitioning to Tari with going on her 25th year of doing this. She's been a head coach. She's been an assistant coach. She's been an associate coach on all different levels, which has been phenomenal. She just brings a lot of energy for us, a lot of more structure, which is awesome because she keeps us on task. She's really been helping out on both sides of the floor, so that's where it's different. She doesn't really have scouts. I think she has Kansas because they were in the Big 12. And she's used to having a lot of those. But she gives us a lot of backing on both ends of the floor. She gives us a lot of backing in recruiting. She's one of the top recruiters in the country. And she's happened to be on our staff now. Structure, a backbone, like she gets to help me be a head coach. There are things and spots I'm missing, and she is she's a facts over feelings type of person. So definitely getting me involved and doing more things. I took pictures today before I came here. I'm not a big picture person, but she's like, hey, we don't have a picture of your staff to put up for National Coaches Day or, holidays or anything like that. You just don't have a lot of pictures. With my assistant coaches, just helping them be great assistant coaches. There's really nothing she hasn't experienced, so they go to her for a lot of things. And we just kind of hit the jackpot with her. She also handles a lot of our, we pay players now. So she is also kind of wearing that little general manager cap. So she's the one who meets with Andrew Petrovich, our SWA and Senior Associate Athletic Director, to go over contracts because she did a lot of that at Baylor. So she handles that side of things. Value. She's just been at a high level for a long time. So she just adds a lot of layers to our staff.
The season will start on the road this year, Monday, November 3rd, Illinois State. The first home game will be Thursday, November 6th against Mercyhurst from Pennsylvania. They actually have an local athlete from Wayne, who will be, Frazier is her name. She has averaged 10 points a game in the last 2 years, and it'll be a fun homecoming for her. They have another young lady from Cincinnati Ursuline, so it'll be exciting there. Give me your impressions of the overall schedule. You've got, at least to me, highlight would be over Thanksgiving, a couple of games in Fort Myers, Florida that will be on national TV on ION. A lot of people know about ION now because of their WNBA games on Friday nights. You've got Purdue, you've got Kansas, as you mentioned before. You've also got a game at Xavier. So give me your overall impressions of what the non-conference you think will do for your team.
Yeah, really good Butler team. We got Belmont, who's always, he always does a great job. We just wanted to be challenged this year. I think last year's schedule was decent, just to get us some wins and get some confidence. And it really paid off for us going into conference play. This year, we have a very inexperienced team, a very talented team. So we wanted to, like Mike Tyson said, punch them in the mouth and see what they're about in the non-conference. And we're definitely going to get that with a phenomenal Big 12 team in Kansas, very well coached. They do a good job. Belmont, a lot of spontaneous movement, a team like that. In Butler, they're going to run a lot of chin action. Xavier, Big East team, just like we played Providence last year. So at Purdue, a Big Ten team. So for us, we just wanted to be challenged early and to prepare us for A-10 play.
And then in A-10 play, you get your bye. I always look at this when it comes out. You get your bye, meaning you get a whole week off, extremely late as I can remember in your 4 years of tenure. When you saw that, and obviously you had no input on that, when you saw that, what was your immediate thought?
It doesn't really bother me. I think this is unlike the first year, like that you talked about, where we had 5 players, and sometimes the 5th was Eleanor Maniac, our walk-on. We're pretty deep this year. And so this is probably the deepest, most talented team I've had. So we can come off the bench with a couple weapons. And last year when we had Liv and Molly and a Jock in those spaces, we were really making runs and winning a lot of games because we could sub and hold the fort. This year, we don't have the experience that we had last year, but I think we have the depth, talented depth that can really put some things together.
All right, so preseason, not that it means anything, because if you look at preseason and where it ends up, many times you take the preseason, you throw it in the wastebasket.
Yeah.
But you are picked 5th. I think it's no surprise that Richmond and George Mason are up on top, because when you look at Harrison Walton for George Mason and Dugan and Ahlstrom for Richmond, you're familiar with those players. Those teams deserve to be right at the top.
Absolutely.
So first of all, I guess we'll talk about Nicole. Nicole Stevens made 3rd team. What was her off-season like? Because there were times last year where her back was hurting her and she had to miss some time. So what did you do with her knowing about that situation in the off-season?
We took like vinegar and like baking soda and pickle juice and we preserved her. And then we went and got some mummy wrap, and we wrapped her up because it's close to October, and then we'll pull her out in November. That's what we did with her. The portal's a great tool, but you could also get players who have miles on them. And Nicole's one that has some miles on her. The one thing I love about that kid, though, is she'll play through anything. Even our last game coming back, which was ugly not having a point guard, and she was our only one. Probably, it's like, I didn't think she was going to play, and she plays, So one thing about her, she's a tough little cookie. She's getting her respect in this conference because she was very efficient last year. For us, in the most part, she's the brain on the floor, There's times I have to call plays with her, there's sometimes I don't, She kind of calls them before, and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly, where I was going with it. So we just preserved her, we vinegar, salt, we wrapped her up, and right after she'll be a mummy for Halloween, and then November 1st, boom, we pull her out, and we're good to go. But we did. I mean, we really rested her up this summer. She
Great
stretches.
kind of point guard with
Yes,
that experience.
yes.
That's very important.
She can watch, and she knows exactly what we're doing. So now we're starting to insert her back in practice since we've been back for in August, and she's been great.
I did want to mention, I want to go back to last year for a moment because we didn't talk after the game last year, but at least my doing this for 22 years, it was one of the more bizarre games. And I'm talking about your St. Joseph's game.
Okay.
And you were down 20-2.
Yeah.
And you not only come back and win the game, you win the game rather comfortably.
Yeah.
What was your feeling after that game? Basically, what are your feelings about how that game can help this season? There's got to be a connection there.
For me, I think it gave them a lot of confidence. That game meant a lot to St. Joe's. That was the game that they needed to win to go to the NCAA tournament. And that whole team has graduated and dismantled. So I think it showed us who we could be. And again, when you started to go in the portal and you started to bring in kids in these different spaces with the transfer portal, we're going to jail a little bit later. It's just the nature of the beast. If you can come out swinging, that's great. But most of the time, it was a big confidence boost for us. What I think hurt us is we go to St. Bonaventure, have to win an ugly game there, and Nicole goes down. Because we really only had one point guard. And that hurt you. So I think for us, it was a big, and we ended up winning, I think, our last 4 out of 5 games in that span. And then we go, and of course, she gets hurt the last game of the season. So for us, it was a big boost to re-jump what we probably started the conference in. I think we went 5-0, to finish off 5-6 or 4-5, whatever we finished the conference off.
From my standpoint, the young lady I'm most excited about this season is Niall Leah.
Okay.
And I will tell you why. And I will be very excited to see how she does on the court.
She's been playing real well, so.
Well, one thing, of course, we still want to see her cut down the turnovers, the decision making. But I was excited to see her in summer basically leading your camp.
Yep.
And you had the confidence to take her to Media Day,
Yep.
speak in front of the media,
Yep.
which she is, and I know this because we did one interview
shy.
with her that she didn't want to do it,
Uh-huh.
and she did it. But yeah, it seems like you're getting her out of her shell. So give us an indication on how important Niall is to this team this year.
Niall's everything, man. She is a leader. She's stepping up. Every challenge I give her, she's taking it on. The assistant coaches have been in her ear to continue to grow, and between her and Eleanor, they've been here since day one. So if you know the growth of that kid, her first semester here, where she probably was scared of me, to now being an honor student, criminal justice, graduate with a 3-point whatever GPA, and forensic technology or whatever she's doing. I'm just proud of her. Now, how she's playing right now, I would say the last month she's been the best player on our team. We've moved her from being a permanent ball handler to the 2-3 guard. She's on the wing now, and she is just turning the corner. It's like all the seeds that were planted and all the little sparks have all kind of come together. And she's just been extremely consistent. And she's been a dog defensively. I mean, we were playing against the guys last weekend, back-to-back steals. Blocking shots, taking charges, leading the charge defensively, and just getting downhill and playing her game. Hit some threes. Had really worked on that in the offseason, and just she looks really good right now that we've taken her off the ball.
I want to touch base on some of the athletes coming back, then we'll get to the 4 newcomers.
Okay.
But also, I will say, I am excited about Jada Johnson. She had 14 in that St. Joe game. That was kind of like her coming out party.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying she's going to nail 5 threes in every game.
I would love that.
But are you encouraging her to shoot more this year?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I encouraged her last year. Sometimes I would take her out because she wouldn't take shots. And excuse me, she's also our IQ kid. You know, she can talk kids out of making bad decisions, and she's really taking that on as well. So we put her predominantly on the wing. So she's actually played a little point when they don't pressure because she's so smart to get the ball up the floor. And coming off the ball screen, she probably reads them the best. She's just been an overall help because she's kind of positionless, and we can put her in a lot of places. And she's a super high IQ kid. So what she doesn't have in the athleticism, the quickness, she definitely can recover. And she can shoot the ball. You know, for her, it's just a confidence thing of like, okay, if you miss one or two, we're okay, because usually the third one goes in. She's not like Liv and Ivy Wolf, who thinks every shot's going in.
So let's talk about Olivia.
Uh-huh.
A sophomore, and it was a typical freshman. She had
Yeah.
great games, and she had games where nothing happened, but
Yeah.
again, you expect that.
Yeah.
She had some international experience playing, I believe, this summer for Canada.
Yeah, she did.
How did that help her game?
Big time. She had it the summer before, which really elevated her. And then this summer, I think what was different is we told Liv, like, you got to get stronger. And Liv's crazy. You know, she's a crazy person. And so what she did is, I mean, before we even got done in June and they left, she had already put on like 6 pounds of muscle. And this summer, you know, I was videotaping her on the gram, and she is like struggling to do leg press, and her legs are jiggling, but she did anything. So she's put on probably 10 pounds of muscle. And now when she goes up, she ran over Shantavia in practice last week, and Shantavia's a big, strong, you know, she's a strong kid, and she hit the ground, and she's like, and goes up and finished it. You could tell now she goes in there with the guys and she finished. Where last year she'd be on the floor, sprawled out. I called her olive oil last year. Where this now she's standing tall. So for her, she just needs to get stronger to have the stamina you need, and she looks really good right now. She's shooting the ball like 45% from the 3-point line right now.
So Molly O'Riordan's a sophomore
Yeah.
also.
Jokic.
And last year, okay, that's what I was going to say. What are you comparing her to? And are you working with her on stamina? Because
Yes.
it seemed like she was in for short bursts. She'd do
Yeah.
well, and then she'd come out.
Yep.
So do you expect her to get more consecutive minutes?
Absolutely. And I mean, and last year for her was hard because we were always going to go back to Nani. You know, Nani was a force. She was a double-double. She was one of the best recruiters, rebounders in the country and best finishers in the country. So for us, we would always go back to her. And I told her before, she was a little bit like scared. I was like, Nani's gone. So, how are we going to fill that spot? And it might look different, but she gives us some difference because she can pass. She has the ability to stretch the floor. She's getting in better and better shape, which is awesome for us. And she's become more of a finisher in the paint. And that's something she would use her skill a little bit and fade off. And now she's kind of going through playing against the guys. It's just year 2 for her. So she's taking it very seriously.
Year 3 for Jacques Medal.
Yes.
And there were times where we saw lots of potential.
Oh, yeah.
So how has she improved her game in your feeling from the offseason?
She's been the most consistent kid since June. She's also shooting the 3 ball extremely well. I think she's up to 40-something% from the 3-point line. Like, she looks like her and Liv hit the weight room. And you'll be able to tell with them. I think that was another situation for her with strength. She's finishing well. She's getting to the rim. She is shooting the 3 ball at a high clip. Defensively, I mean, there are games that she's made plays on balls last year for us. Tips, steals, deflections. I think she leads our team in right now on deflections. 3-point field goal percentage. I think she's at 43% in practice. She is just, those two have probably made the biggest jumps, and strength was a big part of it.
A couple others. I mean, we are going to get to everybody, but a little bit about Cameron Grant, who is in his second year.
Cam needed last year. She needed that year to just get her bearings. Strength, another kid, like that's always a big thing for her. And I think for this year, things just slowed down for Cam. Now she's not as nervous. She used to be so nervous. She'd be over there just like, oh Coach Miki, I can't remember. Remembering plays, strength, the game slowing down for her. Some freshmen, it takes a little while, and I think this is her year that things have really slowed down for her. Defensively, I call her Stacey Ogman. She's all over everything. She's our stretch. She's finishing extremely well. Daryl Hudson's been working on her, and Kalisha with her 3 ball. Her ability to get to the rim, she's doing a good job. She's one of those kids that her and the jock can really finish with the guys with their elevation and her ability to pass. And she's a glue kid. She's a great role kid, and you can plug her in anything. Kim doesn't care where I play her. She just wants to have impact and do her job. And I think that's her really buying into that role has gained her a lot of playing minutes this season.
2 seniors on the roster other than Nio, that's Shantavia Dawkins, so this is her last year.
Yep.
So what are you looking for out of her this year?
Shantavia has to be a defensive just maniac, She's got to be all over the ball. She has to be aggressive. People have to want to keep the ball from her side of the floor. And that's what I've been telling her. Her ability to finish. by the rim has been elevated. She's probably made a big jump from the perimeter, being able to shoot, because sometimes it was hard to play with her because people wouldn't guard her, you know. So I think her slowing down, her decision making has gotten a lot better, and her ability to get to the rim and finish. That will be a big deciding factor for her. And she just gives us somebody who's been in the gym for 4 years. So she practices really hard. She's really durable. She plays defense. She talks. She's an energy kid. And that's what we look for from her.
And of course, Eleanor Moniak, which
Best player on our team.
If she doesn't get a lot of playing time, that's not a surprise.
I know.
But again, for the people who are not familiar with her, she's got all the intangibles.
Absolutely.
So could you kind of bring those up?
She's everything, man. Eleanor's our walk-on. She is loving, caring, gives everything, you know, will play through anything, beats them up in practice, talks trash, probably talks about their weaknesses a little bit more, and they don't say anything because it's Eleanor. She's also president of SAC as a walk-on. She's in
When you
all
say that, explain president.
student advisory. Student athlete advisory committee.
Okay.
Back in the day, it used to be the board. It used to be SOB. A million years when I was in it. So she's president. She's been President Spina and Neil take her to all the A10 meetings, all the president's meetings. They choose Eleanor. She is what you want a flyer to be, not just as an athlete, but a student. She's going to PA school next year. She's brilliant. 3.8, 3.7, 3.9 GPAs as a PA, and she's taking organic this and biology and chemistry and all the everything. And she'll spaz out about it and have a 3.9 GPA. So not only is she showing up to lifts, she does everything our team does. She just pays to do it. She gives everything to the university, and she's just like the prototypical flyer, and I love her.
She has to be extremely excited during the scrimmages with the practice players.
Oh, she talks. Oh,
get
yeah.
out there and bang with them, right?
Oh yeah, she talks the most. She's with them. You know, she's the practice player in
Oh,
practice.
she's
when we
going
go
up against her teammates.
Our teammates. Oh yeah. So when she's talking about weaknesses, she's like, Ivy, you can't make free throws. You can't even finish at the rim. You know, Nani, you can't make. You know, she gets excited. She'll chest bump us. We just put, hits threes and might, tap Niall in her face if she hits a three. So she really has a lot of fun and enjoys every day. And, we just took pictures, and she's like, Coach Me, come take a picture, man, this year for her. She's like tearing up already. She's everything. She is everything you want a student to be. She happens to be an athlete, but a student to be at a university.
I know you talked about grad school for her. Does she have any inclination in going to coaching? Because the way she comes across. Now, granted, I don't know if it would work out because she might be too tough.
Yeah.
But is that something she has expressed interest to you?
No, I think she'll go to PA school, and I think she'll coach high school basketball or something like that, because she's a competitive kid. So, she'll be playing noon ball at PA school. She'll be doing something. I think she will eventually do an AAU or a high school, but she's a smart kid, and she'll be a doctor or something big time. Eleanor's she's brilliant.
So we could do all 45 minutes
on Eleanor alone. You can just take me out the seat and put her in it.
She's definitely enjoying it.
I mean,
while a lot of the players have like the game face and they'll walk right by me in the warm-ups, she'll always come over and say hello.
What's up? Oh yeah, she's gonna say hi.
She's ready to go. Okay, so before we get into the 4 newcomers on the team, how do you go about, and again, a lot of these newcomers have played elsewhere. They may not have, and I asked this last year, they may not have a lot of minutes. So you might not have a lot of film to grade them on, but how do you wind up obtaining players like these 4?
Well, we, of course, relationships are huge. We have a system that we use to grade them, value, how much value they had on their previous teams and their previous programs. And then a lot of it's just relationships, So, starting out with somebody like Malia Johnson, I've known her since she was a little kid. She's a Columbus kid. We tried to get her when she left Pitt. She's at Houston. Back-to-back coaches get let go, and we have an opportunity, and she took it because she said, hey, I want to be a pro, and you're between you and your staff, even though all these other powers are coming after me, you guys get it done as far as getting people better and getting them opportunities to play overseas or in the W. So that was a big jump for her, and she trusts us. So 5'11", big strong guard, can shoot the three, can finish, and probably has the most experience outside of Nicole on our team.
So again, as you mentioned, Afrocentric High School, Columbus,
Yeah.
18 and a half points, 12 rebounds a game her senior year.
Yep.
One year at Houston, 2 years at Pitt, was out all last year.
Yep.
How do you think being out all last year has affected her coming into this year?
I think she'll be fine. You know, I think she will. She's played so many minutes that she knows how to, you know, like to get it going, and she predicates her confidence on defense, on the defensive end. So that's where she got her confidence. That's where she'll get back on the court. She's shooting the 3 ball extremely well. She's a big, strong guard, and you bring a player like her to our conference, she can be very dominant because you can move her around anywhere. She's played mostly on the wing, but she can play some 4 for us. She can play some 2 and 3 for us, so we can move her around. We can post her up because she played post at Afrocentric. She just gives us a lot of versatility, a lot of strength, tremendous athlete, and a lot of experience.
Jordan Poole's a sophomore,
Yeah.
and you got her from Purdue.
Yeah.
Ironically, she'll be going back there. In
Oh yeah, she's
December,
excited.
so-
She's an Indiana kid too.
Yeah, so what will she bring to the program?
I don't think we had anybody. Naya's probably the closest that's, like we say, has a little wiggle. That I can say just go get a shot off. Never really had that. So nice handle. She'll probably be a crowd favorite because she drops a lot of dimes. 3-level score. She shoots 3. She hits her mid-range. She finished at the rim. Passes the ball at a very high clip. And where my doubt was, because she's a small guard, was will she be able to play at a higher level defensively? And I go to the weight room yesterday, and she's doing curls, and you know the gun show was out. I told her that almost kicked me off all my social media platforms after I posted her, because I was posting pictures of guns yesterday, her and Cameron Grant, and she gets after it defensively. And I told her, I said, we wouldn't find you in a defensive stand in high school because she didn't play defense. She was so electric offensively. And now she's leading our team in steals. And she's a little guard, but it just gives us an explosive guard that can get her shot off, that can shoot, score at 3 levels, and she makes people around her better.
MG Talley, another
Oh, yeah.
6'2" young
MG.
lady. I'm sorry?
No, we can just call her MG. Yeah.
Oh, MG, yes. Yes. From Canada.
Yeah.
So you already have Olivia from Canada.
Yep.
So did these two know each other before they got here?
Yeah, they played high school basketball together at Crestwood Academy in Toronto. So they all played on that same team. MG was young. Liv was, on her way out. So they're very familiar with each other. MG, if she can pull it all together, she has the potential to be Rookie of the Year. She's very talented. I mean, we had to steal her from Clemson and Virginia Tech and Wake Forest, and she kind of had to make her decision pretty late because she thought she was going to go to year 13 and found out that she wouldn't be able to stay at her high school. So she had, in a 3 to 4 week period, had to figure out that she was going to college. And so we kind of got lucky with her, but man, that kid can put on the floor. She can shoot it. She's got a nice little handle, IQ, defensively just super athletic. She's like my height, great body, runs the floor hard, plays hard, rebounds with 2 hands. Just she could be special. And I don't probably throw that out lightly. So she could be special, and she's preparing for it. She's very serious, so she's preparing for it. And we just looked up to get her, but she could be really good for us.
And I'm sure you've got a nickname for this final young lady who's 6'3", also hailing from Canada. 2 years at North Dakota, averaged 6.5 points a game last year. Fatima Ibrahim.
Yes.
I'm not going to pronounce it again.
Yes.
I think I got it right.
Yeah.
But give us the lowdown.
I call her Lulu because her dog's name is Lulu when she's playing because she's
kind
just
of dog?
ferocious. It's just a little dog. It's not a big dog. It's actually a cat. No, it's not. It's a cat. But most of the time we call her Tima. Now, that one right there, she's Defensive Player of the Year in her conference. She gives us paint presence. She gives us a little bit of a paint protector. She rebounds she's very reminiscent of Nani when it comes to boards. You got to box her out. She is finishing, 60-something% in the paint right now for us. Over the summer, she led us in scoring and rebounding. She runs like a deer, plays hard. She's a little mean. We're trying to stretch her out, get her to rip. She has a nice high post jump shot. Fatima's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I think she'll She gives us another kid with some experience. She averaged like 20, 25 minutes on a really good team. So I'm just excited to have her. She brings tenacity, she brings athleticism, she brings a paint presence and protector. And she's a little mean, and I like it.
Same style of play. You basically you want to get up and down the court quickly, shoot within 5, 6, 7 seconds.
Probably.
Or is that, especially with the depth you have of 13 players, is that what you're looking for?
I mean, if we can get layups and open threes, yes. But I think this team, what we've been really working on is them popping the ball. Putting the ball on the floor, finding an open player, rotating the ball, getting ball reversals, things like that. We have more weapons this year, so it's been a little bit more leeway. But there are a lot of times against the guys that we can get shots off in 5 or 6 seconds. We're running the floor really hard, where I think we'll look a little bit different. Outside of just being more talented from an offensive standpoint, is defensively we added a lot of length and athleticism. You got 5'11" Lily. You have a Jock Healthy. You have Liv, 5'11" guard. You have a 6'2" Fatima. You have a 6'2" MG. You have Molly, who's really tall. So Cam, who's in the rotation now. We can look really long and really athletic very quickly. So defensively, where we would sprint back and we would press here and there, now the whole game we're picking up full court.
So it doesn't sound like anybody is physically compromised or starting the season on the injured list?
No,
like
hopefully not. Yes, hopefully not. I'm got my Hail Marys out, my rosary, just to keep everybody safe. I mean, that for any team, that would be devastating for us, and that's any program. So the biggest thing is, as Brian Agway used to always say, is available players. And for us, if our players are available, I think we can have a really tremendous season.
So one thing that has to be challenging, and it's a good problem to have, but you have 13 players. I imagine you'll especially be doing this in your close scrimmage games, different combinations.
Yes.
I imagine probably you'll be going with lots of different combinations because people think, well, who's starting? I imagine even the starting and the rotation and the minutes will definitely be varying, especially throughout the non-conference.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for me right now, if you ask me who's starting, I don't know. I know Nicole's probably in there.
Nicole is starting.
But past that, Niall's playing really well right now. I could pinpoint Liv. It's like John is playing really well, but it's like I've never had that problem here at UD. If you would have asked me this year, I'd have been like, Ricky's going to start, Nai's probably going to start, Nani, and I'm going to be one off right now. Outside of Nicole, it could shift either way. And that's a good problem because iron sharpens iron. So you want to be in a space in the gym that right now people have to compete to get minutes. People have to compete to start. There's no clear cut right now, and there's no experience to hang your hat on. So people are fighting and clawing, to get on the floor, and you can tell they're doing extra workouts and they're watching film and really buying into it because it's not like years in the past where we either didn't have enough players to play and you had to play, or we started to get a little bit good, right? But you knew the experience was going to play. And now, right now, it's wide open, and I like to leave it like that.
Finally, this is year 4 for you.
Yeah.
We've already alluded to the chief of staff takes a lot of the administrative duties off of you, especially the legal ones.
Yes.
But how do you feel as a coach coming to year 4, just every year a little bit more experience?
I'm glad I've gone through the journey I've gone through. It's not easy when you've won majority of your life to win, 5 Division I games in a season and continue to try to get a team to fight. And that might have been the funnest year when you look at the games because we kept them close for the most part. We were going to throw a lot of punches and we were going to beat you up and it was going to be some ugly basketball, but it allowed me to become a better coach on both ends of the floor. It allowed me to learn how to manage better. I've learned a lot about myself, all the mistakes I've made, and things and weaknesses I had that I could create strengths and balance. I mean, you learn a lot. You get challenged a lot in this position. And this year for me, it's just like I started off the season like I know this is all on how I move this program, and that's not something I want to mess up. And this year we could be good enough to have a really phenomenal season. And I never want to take it away from a team because I've been on lots of teams that won quite a few championships, and it could be a special moment for them. So for us, that's what I'm looking forward to, just being a better head coach. My assistants have grown tremendously. I've grown tremendously in a team that we're year 4. So now it's our team. It's our culture. Our culture is phenomenal. I don't have to manage anything off the court right now. They know if anybody gets a little bit of a grade drop, I'm coming in, and we've had our highest GPA with some of the best majors in the last 21 years of UD women's basketball. So I'm a very happy individual right now, and that's where they need to keep me.
Well, I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
And we'll talk before the Mercyhurst game. You'll have
Yeah.
a game under your belt
Yeah.
at Illinois State. So
Yeah.
it's a little different. I think you're used to starting at home.
Yeah.
But maybe a little adversity to
Oh, yeah.
start the first game isn't the worst thing in the world.
No, Illinois State's a great program. They usually win their conference or their secondary conference to go up there. She's a phenomenal coach. We've played them before and lost because I think we missed 5 layups on a free throw my first year. We had every opportunity to win that game, so we owe them one. And I just want to test this team because ultimately we want to get to A10 and have a lot of impact.
So again, we thank Tamika Williams-Jeter. Again, you're 22 for me, doing University of Dayton women's
Jeez,
basketball.
you don't look a day over 22. Look at you.
Get me my prune juice.
Look at him.
So we'll do all the home games, and we will also travel with the team and do the game at Xavier on Veterans Day.
Nice.
So for Tamika Williams-Jeter and Norm Shrine, I'm Barney Sentner. Thank you for watching and listening to this program.
Go Flyers.